So I'm going to do two things. One is Meg has asked that please take food before you go. And secondly, just remember that we're going to close this room, but then we're going across the way. But I would just love to hear from the three of you, just any thoughts you've got as you're leaving here. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm Yuki Yang. And as Liz said, Ideal Option has been part of this work since about 2019. And so we've seen lots of changes. And I've always been very hopeful about what North Sound ACH can do. And seeing all of the brand new faces here and some people that I've been in this room with or other rooms with for so many years, I'm just still so hopeful in the amount of optimism I have for the work that we can all do together continues to grow. And I would encourage everybody to not let today be the end of the conversation. That is the beauty of the North Sound ACH, is that they create this space for all of us, and as the slide said, to be leaders in this work. And I'm looking forward to continuing this work with all of you. So thanks.
My friend, just stand. Keep going.
My name is Kevin Riley. I'm with Mount Baker Presbyterian Church in Concrete. And like Alex said earlier, I'm nervous. There's a lot of you. And Liz, oh, thanks, friend. And Liz sent me a text and asked if I would share some reflections for today. And I've worked up 30,000 things to say in my brain up until this point. But the only thing that I can say, my reflections for today, my reflections for the ACH is being a part of this collaborative action network, this network of providers, will change you. It will change who you are, it'll change your trajectory in life, and it'll change your organization, and it'll change the communities that we serve. Because we're all coming together with a common mission, and that is to boldly go into the darkness of the people who are still suffering, unapologetically rip them out, and provide them with the resources that they need to be able to sustain and survive and thrive in their life. And if all of us in this room can share in that same mission and unapologetically love, then there's nothing in this world that can fucking stop us.
And so if you recall, we started the day with you all introducing yourselves to each other, and I asked you, what is something that brings you hope? Not to put pressure, being a grandma, seriously, my grandson was going to be here, and I said, I promise I will not embarrass you. But the conversation that I just got to be a part of and percolating ideas coming out of that give me hope. And so I'm just really grateful, Matthew, that you're willing to take the microphone and share some thoughts with us.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm Devin Nixon's son. I'm not with any organization. I just graduated high school a couple months ago, and I'm going in the Western this fall. And first of all, I just want to thank you all for letting me be in this space, because that is super important to the work you're doing, I feel like. Not just because it's me, but because, I just got to be a part of a beautiful conversation. And thank you. I just learned the importance today of building relationships with the people you want to work with. And I think you guys are doing amazing work just by being in this room right now. And I'm really excited to see what the North Sound ACH will continue to do in the future. Yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you. Thank you.
And that was a little bit of humility, because Matthew actually has agreed to make a connection between us and a couple of faculty that he worked with, and that's what it's about. Every one of us builds a bridge to somebody else who's connected to this work, so there's a lot of power in that. To close us out, boy, in January we had a song. For those who don't know, Mario stood up and did this amazing piece of music for us that day. And to close us today, because since I feel like we're not actually closing, but we're just transitioning from this side to that side and outside, I'm just going to say, the power is to turn to the people that you're still sitting at tables with, share an idea with them. There could be more there to your ideas that nobody has listened to in the past, like, you can certainly share them with us, but just know that the ACH, most of the time, somebody calls us and says, like, I have this really cool idea, and we turn around and I call Jackie, or I call Kevin, or I call somebody else and say, like, are you willing to get together and talk to so-and-so about this work? And so, we're kind of shepherding this network, and it's about leverage. And, how we can do that, it's part of the commitments that you all made to be a part of this collaborative action network. I almost wish that the slide was up, and I can't remember where it was in our slide deck of, like, what are people bringing to the table as being a part of this? And it's you as leaders. You're bringing resources and relationships to this table, and it's what is going to turn this from a project into a movement. And, back in 2017, the Healthcare Authority asked us, how are you going to sustain the work of the North Sound ACH once the Medicaid waiver dollars go away? And my colleagues all around the state wrote these wonderful papers about, I can't remember if there's anybody from any of the health plans here anymore. I know Laura was here earlier. Like, we're going to get the Medicaid managed care plans to pay for all these really cool things that we're doing. We're going to find philanthropy that's going to do this work. And Nicole, where's Nicole? Nicole was with me in writing up our paper, and North Sound wrote up our framing for sustainability is building relationships. We felt like if we can get organizations who think of themselves as separate, looking for money separately, to actually work in concert with each other, this work will be sustainable, because we have no dearth of ideas. And we have better ideas than the federal government has, than the state agencies have. We don't have a good way of filling them with our ideas, but you all have got amazing ideas. And so how we can leverage whatever we can bring to the table with your wealth of knowledge, that's what's going to make this a region where people increasingly feel like they belong, they are seen. A couple of board meetings ago, and I'm going to close with this because it just was a theme throughout the day, there was a webinar with the Othering and Belonging Institute, and it was John Powell and a grief activist talking about how does belonging fit with grief. And some of you know I've had several losses in my family over the last year, so I hop on this call, and the two of them are like having a conversation as if they're not on a Zoom call, but they're sitting on a sofa together, talking about you cannot get to belonging without love. Love is at the center of belonging. And so a couple of weeks later, I go to a board meeting, and there are a couple of board members here in the room, and I said, we've got this equity frame and targeted universalism and belonging. We're going to create a set of principles to guide our work so that we are leading with love. And 6 years ago, I think I would have had blank stares at our board meeting. In 2023, I have board members going, yes, you can't do this work without love for the community that you're serving, the people that we're talking about. And so you'll see soon, for those of you who follow our newsletters and stuff, we'll be sharing our principles of how our organization is leading with love. And it means how we treat our staff, how we work with our consultants, how we work with you all, how we see ourselves vis-a-vis the community. And so I'm just so excited that you all are on this journey with us, because the ACH is nothing without you. I mean, there is no accountable community of health without you. And what we want is to just keep growing this movement. So, maybe in January, we're going to ask you all, bring somebody who's a high school student with you, so that we can actually do something with young voices instead of about young voices. And, that would be pretty incredible. So I'm just going to close with thank you. And please join us 4:30 to 5. And then the very last thing that Meg is pointing me to is we do a kind of an evaluation piece. So one more QR code up there. And Apparently, we're not doing a raffle or any kind of organized betting scheme. But if you complete the survey, we have a gift for you. So gifts galore. You'll get this also as a follow-up email, but we love getting feedback because we're just going to keep making every time we come together better and better and better. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Be safe with wherever you're heading next, and we will see you soon.